Five Nights at Freddy's has gotten a ton of news from 8 new Ruined DLC teasers, some rumors or fears that game is getting delayed, a brand new FNAF movie trailer that drops today, and much, much more. Like the video if you're excited, but let's just get right into it. So starting off with FNAF movie news, recently as we are getting within a few months of the movie's release, we a few days ago got a brand new poster for the movie, which appears to be an in-canon, in-theme poster meant to look like it was actually put up at the restaurant, and in fact, it might actually show up somewhere in the movie, but not much is really known. However, speaking of in-character stuff, people have spotted a brand new Twitter and TikTok account showing up that appear to be official accounts for the FNAF movie, but are instead branded as Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, unlike the other accounts we've seen that are just called the FNAF movie, most likely because these accounts are probably going to be some sort of in-theme promotion for the movie as it gets closer to launch. Think the things like Steel Wool's Xbox Security Breach announcement where they dropped like a mini VHS or something in that nature. Perhaps even this may be a place they use to drop some sort of hints or secrets to the movie while we wait in some sort of scavenger hunt, or dare I say an ARG, but one can only dream, and it's most likely just going to be used for posting new teasers and whatnot. But speaking of teasers, the biggest movie related thing we have to talk about today is that most recently in Finland, the Five Nights at Freddy's movie official trailer would get listed on their rating site with a rating of 16+ and a runtime of 2 minutes 25 seconds. Now this actually means a few different things for us. For starters, they have this new trailer rated for an older audience than what we saw with the original trailer released a month previously, which most countries rated like 14+ or even PG. But it's also important to keep in mind that a lot of different countries use different age rating systems, and 16+ in Finland could be the equivalent to PG-13 in America, or maybe even rated R, I'm not exactly sure. But pay super close attention to the runtime of 2 minutes and 25 seconds, because while we've only gotten one official teaser trailer previously that was much shorter, you may remember that a little while back, somebody actually got the Five Nights at Freddy's full-length trailer to show up in a movie survey in a rough draft state, and while I don't recommend looking at the trailer, it was almost exactly the same length as the one rated here, which most likely means this will simply be a finished version of that will show up on TV and whatnot, which is great to hear. Now, in terms of when this trailer will release, nobody really knows for sure. However, the last time we started to see ratings for the first teaser of the movie, the trailer ended up dropping within a few days of its rating. So this most likely means that the trailer is just around the corner and could drop at literally any time. And in fact, as an interruption, as I'm working on this video, Jason Blum just tweeted out that something was coming out today for the movie, while also in his tweet showing off that they added different hashtag logos on Twitter if you use that, and a brand new full extended version of the poster we got previously was also released, which in my opinion actually looks really cool. But while they didn't confirm what the surprise is that's coming tomorrow, based on what I just said, let's be real, it's probably going to be the movie trailer. And so depending on the time you're watching this video, the trailer is either out or is about to come out. So outside of any other extra trailers, which I'm sure there will be, that means we have almost everything for the movie 4 months out on this day. But moving on from the movie news, we also have a ton of Ruin news to break down, because YouTuber Dawko recently held a charity live stream event where, as donation goals were reached, brand new things were revealed about the Fanverse games, merchandise, and most famously, the Ruin DLC, giving us 8 different new screenshots to break down here now. So starting off simple, we first have the entrance to the Pizzaplex for screenshot 1, and of course we have seen this in their official trailer before, so there isn't too much to say about this location, except that when it's put side by side to the original entrance with all of the purple bright lighting, it really emphasizes how much different this DLC is going to end up being environment-wise. And something I found interesting with this area is that, like in the trailer, we can see that it's going to be taking place in the daytime, which shows that at least a day or so has probably passed since the original game that was at night, of course. And in fact, while I'm not going to theorize about it today, looking at all the ruin, it looks like multiple months or even years have passed as well. The second screenshot this time shows us some more of the ruin in the pizzeria, this time actually giving us a look at the staff bots here, which appear to be out of commission this time, which I absolutely hope is consistent with the rest of the game, if I'm being completely honest. And overall, once again, there isn't too much to say about this one, outside of the fact that you can see how dark the Pizzaplex gets when there's no lights or anything, which plays into the horror theme a lot better in my opinion. Moving on to the third and debatably the largest screenshot, we get to see the kitchen area that was shown in the previous trailer with the little water duct thing, and probably the most important feature about this screenshot is that looking at the bottom corners, it appears that there is some sort of blood on the floors of the Pizzaplex, which if true would be extremely fresh to the franchise, which has taken a completely kid-friendly approach in recent times if I'm being honest, and I would be shocked if this is true. Plus, if this is actually blood, it would mean that somebody or something got trapped trapped down here and is either hurt or didn't make it out, which could definitely be some morbid theory fuel for you guys. But I also saw some people point out that this is the kitchen area. We could even see what appears to be an oven on here. So this could just be some of these splattered pizzas that we see around the screenshot. Plus, this is the only case I believe where blood ever shows up, so it would explain it, but I'll keep hoping for the best. Or I guess it'd be weird to be hoping somebody died here, but whatever. The next screenshot we were given is once again another familiar security breach location, and this time we can actually see that there's going to be more endoskeletons in the game. And very similar to security breach, they appear to be deactivated, so it seems like they're going to be returning as an antagonist inside of it. But once again, there isn't really that much to break down here outside of us knowing that the endoskeletons are probably coming back. The next and also super interesting screenshot we got was this one that shows us inside of Monty's golf area, but this time in a completely abandoned state, which in my opinion is one of the best looking screenshots we've seen so far. With the deep background and all the railings fall apart, this one definitely shows the devs did some work on making these areas creepy. But perhaps the creepiest part about this screenshot is that in the bottom right, we can see none other than Monty Gator himself in his full endoskeleton form, which is something we actually caught a glimpse of already in the Ruin trailer, and I still stand by that this is one of the creepiest characters that we've seen, because I don't know, there's something about his full endoskeleton and his large unique set of teeth that just make him more creepy than the regular animatronics we see throughout the entire franchise. But speaking of animatronics, the next screenshot now gives us another new glimpse again into Glamrock Chica's model melting apart with a big pile of trash surrounding her. And this one is pretty standard to the rest, but it is once again nice seeing how creepy the characters look in their new forms. The next screenshot though is another shot once again of Monty's golf. However, this time we are on the actual course and we can see Monty crawling out of another barricade, showing he's going to be here in multiple iterations. And right beside him, there's even a little arcade machine still functioning, which I saw some people pointing out as weird. But what I find weird is just the sheer amount of attention that they are giving to this one specific area. So far, they've just shown off in the trailers and these teasers a bunch of random miscellaneous locations that don't seem to be for anything specific, but on multiple occasions now, they've shown us the big updates to the Monty area specifically, including these two new screenshots and even some new cutscenes based on the trailer, so it appears like there's going to be a lot of focus on this place especially. And on that topic, if we look at the 8th and final screenshot, they show off the first and thus far only new area in Ruin that we've seen, and it's a screenshot of the Monty ride itself sitting there apparently waiting for some sort of repairs, which I assume is a task that we are going to be in charge of doing in the Pizzaplex, especially since we see it once again in the trailer working fine, so perhaps this is either what happens after that scene, or maybe writing it is the end goal of the area that appears to be very important. Now, that's every screenshot broken down, and to be fair to the developers, I like it. There's still a lot to prove gameplay-wise, but this shows that Steelwool is still able to keep up to par with what was heavily praised in the base game, being the incredible and stunning visuals. And now the biggest question we're wondering is how is the game going to play? Which of course we won't find out until the game actually releases, but then that begs the question, when is it releasing? Because in the initial trailer, it said that the game was going to be releasing in July, but if you check the calendar, July is extremely soon, in like 5 days from now. So people have been beginning to wonder where the release date specifically has gone, since we are going into the release month with no news. And in fact, pessimists are even beginning to get a bit worried that this could be the build up to a possible delay. And while that sounds crazy, I mean, the original security breach was already delayed like crazy, and this is really how it starts, with them giving a window, and then as that window approaches, not much is really said. Especially since the security breach files updated edition, meant to be a guide for Ruin, was already once delayed into December of this year, but was just delayed again into April of next year. Plus, especially after how Security Breach's base game was perceived, I have a feeling that developers are much more likely to take even more time to finish this product, so that way of course there's less bugs and whatnot. But speaking realistically, in my opinion, I don't think there's too much to worry about, since when they said July, they most likely meant like very late July, and if this silence does somehow end in a delay, I can't imagine it's any more than a few days into August, because at least with what I've seen from the Steelwool team, they seem to be in a good headspace and want to make the game the best it could be while also avoiding delays. I mean, we went basically a year without hearing anything about Ruin up until the trailer itself ended up dropping, so they were probably very cautious before dropping a release window. However, while these screenshots we got the other day told us a lot about the game, the original trailer told us a lot of secrets that you might have missed, which I cover in this video here. Subscribe and like if you enjoyed, and if you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. Peace out.